We're in Reykjavik.
You still have 550 miles of water to cross to get to Scotland.
We are now late. All of the other aircraft have overtaken us. Some of those aircraft are now making landfall in the United Kingdom.
The original plan was to land in Wick, Scotland, which was the last stop on the original route across the North Atlantic. Unfortunately, Scotland that day was miserable.
Now, we weren't going to be able to get into Wick, which was the plan.
But Spirit of Douglas provided us with the solutions that we needed to catch up on the schedule.
The Spirit of Douglas has wing tanks, so we can carry an extra 400 gallons of fuel.
As a result, we decided that we would put on more fuel.
And decided that we were going to forego our planned stop in Wick.
And fly all the way to London.
Instead of being a 4.5-hour leg, it was going to be almost a 7-hour leg.
Which was kind of an epic flight because of the distance.
But her additional fuel and her speed is what makes her capable of doing this kind of thing.
November 8336, Charlie Tower, wind calm, runway 19, cleared for takeoff. D2, a little bit more, a little bit more. Okay, here we go. We'll do ring gear up. Great, here we go.
We had battled through weather and adversity.
Good morning, aviators! For those whose eyes have often turned to the skies, these past few days have brought a rare sight, a graceful parade of DC-3 tracing their path across history. This morning, the last of them is trying to make its final hop from Reykjavik to London North Weald. The Spirit of Douglas, who's deeply battling to arrive on time to participate to a huge event in France. Stay tuned, there's much more adventure just ahead.
But with our additional crew members, our additional fuel, and our additional speed, we actually managed to catch up on the schedule.
36 Charlie, contact London, 120.625, goodbye.
We arrived late, but we actually caught up with the rest of the group and were there for breakfast the following morning.
Number 8336 Charlie, go for that.
Beach 95, looking good.
When we touched down in London, everybody on board the airplane was elated. We had now completed the last leg of an Atlantic crossing, and any time that you make an Atlantic crossing in an airplane like this, it's an event. Everybody was still healthy. Nobody got wet. It was just a great feeling to be on the ground there. And a feeling of accomplishment. It took a lot of teamwork, a lot of planning, a lot of preparation, and it all paid off. We were now in London safely with the airplane as we'd intended.
I was also proud of having gotten that damn airplane there. She had done everything she possibly could, and we had persevered and succeeded. It was wonderful to know that we weren't going to miss the main event, right? The real reason that we had done all of this we were not going to miss that.
Good morning, aviators, and especially welcome to Normandy. Yes, you heard that right. Normandy is the place to be this week as the region lights up to celebrate the 80th anniversary of D-Day. And what a celebration. Hundreds of events across Normandy, millions of visitors from every corner of the world. And the highlight of the week will be the official ceremony on June 6th, right on Omaha Beach, where the French presidential couple will welcome world leaders from nearly every nation alongside the last living D-Day veterans and the true heroes of 1944. And speaking of legends in the sky, yes, the D-Day squadron is here too. After a short stop at London North Weald, where crews polished their DC-3s and took part in commemorative events, Placid Lassie, That's All Brother, Western Airlines and of course Spirit of Douglas have now repositioned to Cherbourg Airport. So if you're in the area, don't miss it. These aircraft are true living legends. Stay tuned. We'll be bringing you more live updates throughout these once-in-a-lifetime events. And remember, history isn't just in the books. This week it's flying right above your head.
At school, history was all about the Second World War. New Zealand played a part in World War II. We sent a lot of troops. We're very thankful for everybody that fought during those times, and we really connected to history. We're inspired by history. The best thing that we could do is try to honour what was happening in World War II, and so to have something to hook onto and say, hey, we can tell a new story of history with an old piece of history just seemed a remarkable opportunity.
The meaning, it was to mark that anniversary, to remember the people involved, the people that were affected, and a lot of those people who didn't come back. The numbers of men, the quantity of equipment for June 6 was remarkable. But for the air crews, for the C-47s, for the C-53s, for the paratroopers that went in ahead of the main invasion, this all happened on the night of June 5th. The evening of June 5th, they left United Kingdom airfields and carried paratroopers into the area behind the beaches in northern France, the peninsula there, and dropped ammunition and supplies from external hardpoints on the aircraft, towed gliders into fields, gliders themselves carrying dozens of heavily equipped troops into the Normandy Peninsula. On the night of the 5th, there were a number of British paratroopers dropped into the area of Pegasus Bridge. Gliders and paratroop jump into the area. Pegasus Bridge was identified as an essential river crossing that the Allied armies were going to need. If the bridge was destroyed, it was going to be a real hindrance. So the British paratroopers were tasked with taking the bridge and preventing the bridge from being destroyed by the retreating German armies. The role that these aircraft played in that global conflict is one of the things that we find fascinating about it. It wasn't designed as a warbird, it wasn't designed as a military airplane, it wasn't designed as a paratroop transport, it certainly wasn't designed as a combat aircraft. It was designed as a civil airliner. The C-47 and C-53 really genuinely opened the liberation of Europe.
General Eisenhower, Ike, attributed the success of the Allies to three things: the Jeep, the one-ton truck, and the DC-3. Not one of them was a weapon of war. It was a weapon of transport.
Good evening, aviators. Tonight, the place to be is Pegasus Bridge. Every year they come back to commemorate the first liberation on D-Day. Hundreds of pipers, thousands of people, fireworks and bagpipes lighting up the night, all to remember the silence, the bravery, the sound of freedom echoing in the Normandy air. Time now to get ready for the big event tomorrow. Enjoy your night, aviators, and see you on the beach.
Good morning, aviators, and welcome to a very special day. For those who had a short night, blame it on the fireworks and the bagpipes. Well, grab a strong coffee and your best pair of sunglasses, because today is the big one. This is it. It's June 6th and all eyes are on Normandy. The French presidential couple is here, joined by world leaders from across the globe to honour a moment that changed history and to salute and bless the last living veterans of D-Day. Crowds are gathering, flags are waving, and once again this coastline echoes with the spirit of freedom. So find a good spot, feel the breeze and take it all in. Today we remember together.
On June 6th, we were invited to fly with a group of World War II fighters in formation over Omaha Beach, over the American Cemetery, and then circle back inland over Cannes, come back to Cherbourg. Being able to see those spots and looking down at Omaha Beach, seeing the cemetery, seeing the ships right offshore, seeing this group of fighters in between our formation. It was just magnificent.
I'm transported back trying to imagine what that would have been like.
Feeling the weight of what took place there. The people that were involved, what it must have felt like to them, the magnitude of the event to have this kind of celebration with this kind of turnout.
Dakota flight 1 minute to parade. Dakota for Roger, thank you.
80 years after it happened.
It's a real privilege to be able to access that history. Flying a DC-3 at an altitude very similar to the one that aircraft would have used on that night.
Dakota flight parade in 10 seconds. Dakota flight, start that turn now.
To see people, celebrating that event as life-changing, not only for them, but for their parents and grandparents and their country. That kind of emotional event is so powerful. Feeling it in that way just brought me much closer to what it must have felt like for my father, who landed in Normandy. And
all right, Dakota flight, let's go ahead and do the parade.
it was the most magnificent flight of my life. And I think that was true for everybody.
The stories of the DC-3 in the war were legendary. It was an extraordinary aeroplane that did amazing things all through the Second World War. And that's continued since. They're all over the world doing jobs that other aircraft just simply can't do. Pilots love it because it's such an honest and extraordinary aeroplane to fly. He doesn't complain, he just keeps on going. It has a tremendous longevity and probably go on into the next century.
Having concluded this first part of the trip, some of us were not surprised by the events of the trip. Our planning was good, our preparation was good. We certainly became much more comfortable with the routine of flying this kind of airplane and what it took to do this kind of trip. For me, it was just a sense of really understanding what we were trying to accomplish and what it took to be able to accomplish it in this machine. The biggest change for me was just to set my expectations properly and how that differed from my previous flight experience. And that was really important.
I love what I do, and going on this journey so far has been incredible, and I would love to continue on to see the rest of the world, what the rest of the journey looks like. I am ready for the next part.
We had encountered all kinds of mechanical issues, all kinds of weather issues, multiple different countries, administrative issues. It all went well. The team was working seamlessly. Everybody did their job, everything worked out. We had struggles, we had setbacks, but we were equipped to deal with them. So this trip was actually reassurance that we've earned our stripes in this industry.
The day is breaking softly and the night is glowing true. I feel a million eyes, but I can just see you. no rain, no thunder. It's just your light, your voice, the heaven of our kiss, the wonder of our choice. So breathe, 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 darling, you can make my love your home, make my love your home. And please, 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 darling, do, if you can be right, make my love your home. The moon is rising somewhere